Hello! Today for our craft, we are making photo transfers. So what you're going to do is you're going to look through magazines and select images for your photo transfer. Then you're going to cut it out in a 4x4 square that'll fit your piece of glass that you've received. Next, you're going to take the heavy gel mat that you've received in your kit and you're going to paint between 5 to 7 coats, allowing them to dry between each coat. I allowed mine to dry about a half hour, but my area that I was drying in was quite arid. So if you live in a place that's more humid or your house is more humid, it may take longer than a half hour. It may take up to an hour to dry. After I placed 5 coats on my image, I placed a final coat on it and I allowed it to dry for a full 24 hours. Now I'm going to soak my images. So I have my image here that I cut out in a magazine and it's dried for 24 hours. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in a bowl of water. You can also use a spray brush full of water for this step. And I'm going to just let that soak a little bit. The idea is that we want the paper to come away from the gel medium, and the gel medium will have the image transferred on it in kind of a vintage look. So as you can see, the back is really wet. You can use a paper towel. You can use a washcloth or you can use your fingers. Move the camera down so you can see. I'm just going to be rubbing the back away. It's kind of fun to use your fingers until my paper starts to come away. This one has 2 layers of paper because I wanted the look of the image over a background. So I've got the first layer on. My second layer. Put it back in the water for a little bit. So I've got part of my image away right here in the middle. I still have paper out on the outside, so I'm going to re-dip it and keep going. There you have it, kind of a cool vintage image. Welcome back. So I have completely removed all the paper from the back of my transferred image, so it's ready to be glued onto the glass surface. I'm just using the same gel matte acrylic medium that we used to create our photo transfers. I'm just going to dip my foam brush, get a little bit on my foam brush. Now this is very thick, and I don't need a really thick layer to get it to adhere. So I'm going to brush it lightly on the glass until my surface is completely covered. I am making sure that I have nice, even brush strokes so I don't leave behind any raised parts. And now I'm putting my image, I want it to the surface side where I first painted my image. I'm going to adhere that to the glass. You can also, now that you've removed all the paper, if you want it to be the other way, you can glue from the side that the paper was on. It just depends on how you want your image to look and which direction. It's very important to get all the air bubbles out. So if you have a flat surface or a roller brush, you can use that. I'm just using my other piece of glass. And I'm smoothing it out all the way to the edges. There we go. Now I'm just going to let this dry. If you want, you can display your craft like this, or you can always put a piece of felt on the back and now you have a coaster. You can also use some metallic paint and design around the edges and create a frame. You could put this in a wood frame or build a wood frame for it if you're crafty with wood. Really anything you want, and it makes a great gift.